Well, I used to think that if I don't make $1 million by the age of 30, then my life is a failure. And you know what? I'm 29 and a half right now, so I better just change the metrics real quick. But seriously, we live in this era where being average is basically a crime. If you're not waking up at 5 a.m., hitting the gym, cold shower, or doing your side hustle before 9 a.m., then you're not even trying enough. And I used to feel this way about myself a lot. Like, there's always this constant voice in my head telling myself that you're falling behind, you better hurry up. And you haven't posted a video in a week, you haven't practiced your language for a while. And the more I thought about it, the more stressed I got. And I wasn't even sure why I felt this way, but just that feeling of failing, it's always been with me. This video is not just another video about how to be more productive. It's all about why being average is totally acceptable and you should do it sometimes. And honestly, I need to hear this just as much as you do, and maybe even more. So if you don't know me, well, you probably don't. I have like, 80 subscribers? I am an immigrant in Canada since 2021. Even before I became an immigrant, I always had this constant feeling that I was falling behind and I needed to hustle harder to prove something. Not to prove that I deserve to be here. Well, that's kind of dramatic, but just maybe to prove something to myself. Like I have to work a little bit harder and achieve a little bit more. And maybe you're not an immigrant, but I bet that maybe sometimes you, for some reason, you want to prove yourself. We all got our own version of this. So every weekend, I'd be like, well, I should probably do some side hustles. I should be more productive. Even when I was watching TV, I still felt like kind of guilty that I was wasting time. So I end up just watching some productivity videos, not something that I enjoy. Or even worse, I was watching something that I should enjoy, but I was carrying the guilt when I was watching it, which defeats the whole purpose of watching TV, right? And I remember there were so many times in the shower where I was like just standing there thinking about the project and about the schedule for the next week. And I couldn't even take a shower without just shutting my brain off for a while. And every single night I would go to bed like, okay, it's not a bad day, kind of productive. But the next morning comes, then I wake up and I'm like, man, I'm so miserable. I haven't made it yet. And to be honest, I was scared. Like scared that if I stopped grinding, then I'd become nothing. Like my entire identity was based on how busy I was. And I got to this point where I couldn't even focus on anything. And you'd be like, haha, that's ADHD. Nope, that's not ADHD. This was something worse than ADHD because it got worse over the time. Like when I was working, I'd thinking about my side project. And when I was doing my side projects, I'd be thinking about hanging out with friends. And when I was actually hanging out with friends, I'd be thinking about working again. I was never present. My mind was never where my body was. I was always somewhere else, worried about the next thing. And this is a weird paradox, right? Because I was constantly trying to optimize and trying to be better. But in fact, I was becoming less productive, less focused, and less present. I remember I even ate a bunch of those microwaved burgers because I was not too lazy to cook, but I felt like cooking was just a waste of time. So I never actually made myself a good meal for probably 2 years after I came to Canada. Can you imagine that? I thought it was just a waste of time. Like I was so busy trying to optimize my life and I forgot I was supposed to just be living it. And one weekend, when I was just scrolling through my phone, checking those delivery apps as usual, I suddenly had a thought in my mind. Like, wait, when the hell was the last time I actually cooked a meal? It was probably years ago. I couldn't even remember, which was kind of sad when you think about it. So I texted a friend, I'm like, hey, come over for dinner, I'm cooking. And then he's like, what, you're cooking? I'm like, yeah, I'm cooking, for real. And he's like, for real, for real? I'm like, yeah, for real. But anyways, so I went to the store, then I picked up some nice steak, and I made it a good meal. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty good. No optimization, no meal preps for the week, just cooking for that day. While we were sitting there eating, we just started chatting up our childhood. And he told me that his mom was like forcing him to play piano when he was a kid. And I'm like, dude, my mom asked me to play piano as well. And she'd make me practice, and she'd be sitting outside on the balcony, listening to me to make sure that I was actually practicing. But I was a lazy kid, right? So I just lay down on my bench and just, make some noise using my feet. And obviously the sound didn't make any sense, so I was caught right away. It was just kind of stupid but funny, and we were talking about that, and at some point I realized that, damn, this is something that I've been missing. Like, when was the last time when I cook and had someone over and crack some jokes and kind of just laugh like that? Not some corporate smiles when you do it in your office. Like, hey, how you doing? I mean, actual laughing and being present and enjoying the moment without thinking about your shit for a while. But what's the point of living your life if you're not gonna enjoy it? So here's what I learned. And if you know a little bit about computer, then you know that if you have your CPU at 100% at the whole time, then it's not gonna explode, but it's gonna overheat. And this is not a defect, it's just physics. And humans are the same. Think about going to the gym. You cannot just hit your PR every single day. You just lift, you rest, then you grow. And at some point, you're gonna hit your PR again. Now look at social media. When you're scrolling LinkedIn at 11 p.m. and you just see some 20-year-old kids just made their first million, then you'll be like, man, what am I fucking doing? Or sometimes you scroll Instagram and you see people's perfect life, their perfect travels, perfect relationship, whatever that looks perfect. It feels like everyone is posting about their wins, their achievements, their perfect 5 a.m. morning routines. And I believed it for so long. But most of the time, life is just, you know, like Tuesday when you wake up, you make yourself a coffee, go to work, then do some corporate smiles maybe, then come home. That's it. And I used to think that it was so boring. Now I realize that, dude, this is just life. The highlights are like, what, 5% of your time? The 95% is just regular days. And if you can't even enjoy those, then what's the point of living your life? I'm in my late 20s and I've just realized that I haven't really taken care of myself. I've been putting so much pressure on myself that I've just lost the ability to enjoy things. What's the point of grinding so hard when you're just being miserable the entire time? Now I'm trying to change things. I'm trying to make it simple. If I can post one video every week and hang out with some friends, make some connections, then that's a good week. I'm not gonna constantly stressed about when I'm gonna hit 1,000 subscribers or when I'm gonna save enough for the down payment. Those thoughts still pop up, but I'm not gonna just let it run my life. And I'm not saying don't have goals. I still have my goals. I still wanna grow my channel. I still wanna save for a down payment, but I'm not going to put my happiness on hold until I hit those milestones. Because here's what I'm figuring out. I'm already in the life that I was grinding for in the past. Like, I have a job and a life here in Canada, and I have some friends that I can trust, and that's good. This is it. I'm already living it, but I was so busy planning the next level. Like, I was never living the one that I was currently at. So by the time when I save enough for a house, I'd be like, what, 35, 40 years old? And yeah, I will have a house. And what, by then I'll just start stressing about the mortgage. And what a great trade-off, right? And I still write scripts, I still do photo shoots. I mean, I still do my side hustles and stuff. But I'm just giving myself more time to break now. Like, I'm actually trying to live instead of just existing in a productivity mode. And yes, I know the irony of making a YouTube video talking about how to be average when literally I'm being productive right now. I mean, it's fine. We're all hypocrites here. So let me tell you what's been helping me with this whole thing. This is what works for me. And you gotta figure out what works for you, what you really wanna do versus what you think that you're supposed to do. They're two completely different things. Because you can go out and just do all the healthy things, journaling, meditation, working hard, going to the gym. They're all good things, of course, but at the end of the day, if you're only doing the things that you think you're supposed to do, then you're just gonna burn out. Or even worse, you end up doing something that you like to do, but you are always carrying the guilt, which just defeats the whole point. So for me, one thing is just to go outside and take a walk. And get some sunlight, and get some vitamin D, and stop thinking about productivity for a while. Like today, I literally just walked around my neighborhood. It's late October, but still very nice outside. And the next thing is to cook. I know a lot of people don't have time to just cook every single day, but at least once a week, go to the grocery store, grab yourself some nice steak, lamb, pork, salmon, whatever. If you're vegan, fine. Some nice tofu. The thing is that you're gonna do something to take care of yourself. something that makes you feel like you're living your life, not just refueling. And by the way, take initiative to ask your friends out. Don't wait for other people to ask you out. And you don't need a perfect plan. Just text them like, hey, you wanna hang out? You guys can just, chill together and play Uno. Play some board games, whatever works for you. Every time when I try to plan something perfect, I just end up doing nothing. Because I always be like, oh, I'll just do it when I have more time. Or when I have a perfect plan. But then just weeks go by, then I haven't seen anyone. Now I just try to make it super simple. Even when my apartment is messy. Because you know what? People don't care. They just want to hang out. They just want to have a good time. Just enjoy being average for a while. Because that's called being human, which is what we are. Don't just bust your butt all the time chasing the goals that are super far away, then never give yourself a break, okay? The end of the day, we're just human trying to figure out how to enjoy this one life that we got. One life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.